The last section of Leaves of Grass we're going to go over is the final section, section 52. It begins with, "The spotted hawk swoops by and accuses me. He complains of my gab and my loitering." The loafing he discussed in the first part of A Song of Myself. This idea that he's sitting around doing nothing but talking, putting himself onto paper, just being restless and almost useless, as he suggests the spotted hawk, this symbol of nature, of active, vibrant life, seems to suggest. But then he switches it around. "I too am not a bit tamed. I too am untranslatable. I sound my barbaric yawp over the roofs of the world." So now he's comparing himself to the hawk, to this wild creature of life. And he says, "I too am untranslatable. I have no way of bringing myself in words to you," which kind of makes this whole project of Song of Myself, his attempt to translate himself onto page, seem a little contradictory. But then he says, "I sound my barbaric yawp." So his words that throughout this huge poem he's written is nothing more than a barbaric cry, something uncivilized, something uncouth, something not refined. But yet it tells us about him in great detail. "The last scud of days holds back from me. It flings my likeness after the rest, and true as any on the shadowed wilds, it coaxes me to the vapor and the dusk." So here we have these images of the day ending, of dust. So in some ways he's discussing his own death, that he will soon die, that he will be taken back into the ground and turned into the leaves of grass, which he has discussed so frequently. "I depart as air. I shake my white locks at the runway sun. I fuse my flesh in eddies and drift it in lacy jags. I bequeath myself to the dirt to grow from the grass I love. If you want me again, look for me under your boot soles." So again, he's concluding this song of himself. He's ready to die, to turn into the grass, to move on. But he ends with this interesting image here. "You will hardly know who I am or what I mean, but I shall be good health to you nevertheless, and filter and fiber your blood. Failing to fetch me at first, keep encouraged. Missing me one place, search another. I stop somewhere, waiting for you." So he has given us this song of himself, this whole collection of leaves of grass. And he tells us quite frankly that we have no idea what he will mean. That we'll look for a meaning, we'll seek to find him in these words, but we won't quite find him there. But we should keep looking. The "failing to fetch me at first, keep encouraged." Because if we keep looking, if we miss him in one place, we may find him in another. And this last line, "I stop somewhere waiting for you." He is waiting for us to find him within these words to the point where, as his first line suggests, we shall assume what he assumes. He is waiting for us to find him within these words and in some ways be one with him and his mind and his soul to some degree. Now, whether or not you yourself find Whitman in these poems, many people have. And this is what makes it a very powerful image in the poetry.